Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. The ongoing diplomatic conflict between Poland and Israel has deepened after a controversial incident at the Munich Security Conference. The Polish Prime Minister, Mateusz Morawiecki, was asked by an Israeli journalist whether he would risk a jail sentence by telling his family's story. The journalist claimed that his family had turned in by the Polish neighbours to Nazi Germans during the Holocaust. The question came up in connection to a new Polish law that is about to come into force. The law will make it illegal to spread unfounded claims about the Polish nation or states' compliancy in the Holocaust. The Polish Prime Minister answered the question with a strong rebuttal.
It's extremely important to first understand that, of course, it's not going to be punishable, not going to be seen as criminal to say that there were Polish perpetrators, as there were Jewish perpetrators, as there were Russian perpetrators, as there were Ukrainian, not only German perpetrators.
The use of the word Jewish perpetrators was interpreted in Israel as the Prime Minister implying that the Jewish nation itself was partly to blame for the Holocaust. The statement was strongly criticized in Israel. The Prime Minister's statement did not in any way deny the Holocaust, nor did it imply that the Jewish victims are to be blamed for the German genocide.
Emotions in Israel are running high, and the Polish embassy in Tel Aviv was vandalized at the weekend. Swastikas and other profanities directed against Poland appeared on a gate in front of the building.
We have sent a diplomatic note to our Israeli counterparts, asking them to secure our premises, to find and punish the people that are responsible for this. I want to stress that our actions are measured, and I do not believe that this issue could damage our relations. Nevertheless, Israel is responsible for the security of our embassy, and we expect them to fulfill their obligations.
Israeli police open an investigation into offensive and vulgar graffiti by the entrance to the Polish embassy in Tel Aviv. Mickey Rosenfield, a spokesman of the Tel Aviv police, had this to say.
Israeli police opened an investigation into the incident, which occurred this morning in front of the Polish embassy, where the graffiti was drawn. This is the first incident of this sort concerning this particular embassy in Tel Aviv. This is a direct result of the political situation around Israel. Our police is still searching for the people responsible for this disturbance. Swastikas, as well as writing insulting Poland, showed up the day after Mateusz Morawiecki, the Prime Minister of Poland, made a statement during the Munich Security Conference. The head of the Polish government used the phrase Jewish perpetrators while answering a provocative question made up by a New York Times journalist. The quote was taken out of context while speaking about an international responsibility for the Holocaust. This remark triggered a turbulent response in Israel. On Saturday, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, had this to say on the matter. The remarks made by the Polish Prime Minister in Munich are outrageous. We are experiencing an issue of failure to understand history and a lack of sensitivity towards the tragedy of our nation. I am going to speak to him about it. Even though the conversation took place, it didn't calm the anti-Polish feelings in Israel. Reuven Rivlin, the President of Israel, said in his statement,
"We stand together, hand in this fight. We have to stand strong for the memory of our brothers and sisters murdered in the Shoah."
However, some radical voices can be found on the Israeli side of the conversation. The country's former ambassador in the United States, Dr. Michael Oren, spoke out on Twitter. "I just ended a conversation with our friends in Washington about the possibility of applying American pressure onto the Polish government, which doesn't only deny the Holocaust, but also blames Jews for it. We must act in any possible way. We are also considering withdrawing our ambassador from Warsaw and severing diplomatic ties with Poland. The country of Israel cannot tolerate any kind of anti-Semitic behavior."
The over-exaggerated reactions of Israeli politicians to Morawiecki's quote seem to imply that they are not interested in genuine dialogue concerning the historical truth. Such an attitude does not bode well for the Israeli-Polish relations in the future. At the BAFTA Film Awards, the unquestionable winner was the film 3 Billboards for Ebbing, Missouri by Martin McDonagh. The film was nominated in 9 categories, but in the end it won 5 statuettes, for the Best British Film and Best Actress awarded to Frances McDormand, as well as the Best Supporting Male role for Sam Rockwell. McDonagh's film was considered the best film of the year, and he also received the award for Best Director. This year's ceremony also included some Polish interest and a Polish production nominated for the Best Animation Award.
Even though McDonagh's film took most of the spotlight, Polish moviegoers had their fingers crossed for another production, Loving Vincent, a Polish animation created only from brush-painted frames for the first time ever in movie history. Surprisingly, the one-of-a-kind Polish production lost to Disney's Coco in the Best Animation category. Now, Polish movie fans wait impatiently for the Oscars, with a little less certainty that it will win after the disappointing results at the BAFTA ceremony. McDonagh's 3 Billboards for Ebbing, Missouri definitely outshined other productions at this year's ceremony, not only because of its extraordinary name, but because of the impressive number of awards it received. Here is what the successful director had to say about the film.
Our film is a hopeful one in lots of ways, but it's also an angry one. And as we've seen this year, sometimes anger is the only way to get people to listen and to change. So we're thrilled that BAFTA has recognized us, and have a good night.
The ceremony was not without its controversies, as many producers and directors talked about the latest sexual harassment scandals that shocked the public. Thank you for watching this evening. Poland Daily returns tomorrow at the same time.